Hello, welcome back. I hope you had an awesome weekend. Today is the day I'm releasing the Investors Heaven tool that I've been working on for many months and actually I also work on it pretty much daily and use it daily. A lot of people have been asking me how to get access, and so I'm making this video to kind of guide you through the tool and also tell you, of course, how to get access. Now, you can access the tool by going to myinvestorsheaven.com is the website, and the way to gain access is by registering on Patreon. You can basically click on this link, and if you click on this link, you can select the membership level. This is the only one. It's basically $12 a month. That really helps support the channel and what I'm doing, of course. And thank you for becoming a patron if you choose to. But the basic perk, of course, is that you gain access to the tool that I'm using and I have been working on. And the even better thing about it is that even though I'm gonna be adding lots more modules to the tool, and I'm gonna be telling you more details about it as we go through this video, you are locked in at that price forever. This is going to be your price forever as long as you are a Patreon. While as I'm adding more modules, at some point the price will be increased for new Patreons. So let's go back after you join our Patreon here. And again, thanks a lot for doing that. That really helps support us. And I hope you can get some great value from the tool. You can log in with Patreon. And so once you log in with Patreon and you have already become a member, you can press allow here just to go through the authorization routine process. And you're inside. You are in the tool. Now, if you have any sort of troubles, any sort of issues, with registering, having access and all that, of course, you can always contact me through our Discord channel is one way that I'm pretty much always at, and I will very use fix your issue if an issue arises, of course. I don't expect an issue to arise, but you never know. Or you can, of course, use the contact page here. And you can find contact information also when you are logged out just by using this link. It's support at myinvestorsheaven.com. And so if anything goes wrong for some reason, just let me know and I will fix it. Of course, we may be expecting a little bit of an influx of new users here. So again, if you notice any sort of slowdowns and things of that sort, don't worry about those because I will be fixing those promptly by contacting my host and upgrading plans as needed. So no worries at all. I don't expect that to happen because this is already a very robust website, but just in case. Okay, so what's going on here? You're looking at the main page of our Investors Heaven portal here. You have the YouTube channels here to stay updated, up to date with what is happening and how I'm using the tool. Of course, I'm having a nice view here just to see what the indices are doing, or indexes, however you want to call them, with some gainers and losers. And then a very cool little thing that I like using here is the market news. I use that all the time because it provides me with news pieces from all around the world, really, in terms of stocks. And so you will see here, for instance, information about AT&T. Is AT&T stock a buy now? United and America, and all sorts of information that comes out in terms of, or Netflix, in terms of different stocks. So this is almost like a global news pieces. Very cool to have. Another one that I really enjoy is the market trends. And this is actually updated by the sort of like the minute. And so as you refresh it, you will be seeing new information here. But if you sort by stock tweets impressions or Twitter posts and comments or stock tweets posts and comments, you can sort by all these and see what's currently trending. So for instance, if I sort by stock tweets impressions, which is the default, you will see that Disney is one of the trending ones. I think this is Macy's, for example, Square, Netflix, AT&T. All these companies are actually trending right now. Clover Health, I believe this one, DocuSign. And so you can kind of get a sense of what is trending. I'm actually using this one to see what people are looking for and potentially even make videos for my channel. Very convenient. Alright, moving on. The next one is the market performance module, which is a cool little module, a small one that actually kind of shows you the different P ratios from all sorts of sectors and industries for different exchanges. And so you can basically see the data that the feed provides me with, and I'm displaying it here. Alright, so next up is probably the meat of our tool, the stock analysis chart, the stock analysis tool, pretty much everything that has to do with stocks. And if you click on this now, you are basically going to be getting that no stock has been specified. We haven't specified a stock. And the way you do that is, let's just say that you are at anywhere pretty much. Let's just say you're on the dashboard here. It doesn't really matter. You can search for a stock. Let's just search for, I don't know, maybe Alibaba, the one that I like. So you go BAB, for instance, and you get a little bit of a help here with an autocomplete if the tool can find, or you can just type the whole thing and click return enter, and the tool will automatically fetch market data for you. Now, if the stock has been searched before, it will be faster. If the stock hasn't been searched before, it may take a few seconds for it to do the analysis, but the second time it typically is way faster because all the data has been already uploaded and analyzed. So Alibaba here is what we're getting, and you know how we analyze the companies. I'm not gonna go through the analysis, of course. We have done it in my videos. This is the well-known view, the well-known screen that you look at when you analyze the stock. Of course, you have the charts and everything here, helpful stuff to help you with your analysis. Now, once I select Alibaba, the whole tool adjusts for Alibaba. And so what I can do is I can go at the stock news module, and right now I'm looking at news pieces only about Alibaba. And so you will see here that this is everything that concerns Alibaba. This is extremely handy. I use it all the time to discover updated news pieces for companies because this is real time. And so if I update this in like 5 minutes, I could very well get a different and new news piece, especially when the market is open. And so what I can do here is, for instance, switch it up to a new company, and let's just say that I'm now interested in Meta. So Meta Platforms, I select Meta Platforms, and the tool automatically adjusts to Meta Platforms. And so now I'm getting information about Meta Platforms. And what is even better, if I go back to my stock analysis chart here, now I'm switched to Meta. The whole tool has adjusted to use Meta right now, the stock that I selected last. I think that's super convenient. Now, you can also take a look at the social trends, and this can actually tell you some information about a company's trends, stock trends, on StockTwits or Twitter. You could expect it to be less today. It's Sunday, of course. This is why this is much lower, but it will probably spike on Monday. And so if something important happens, this tends to spike quite some, especially StockTwits that is only about stocks. Now, of course, again, we have already selected Meta, and so with Meta selected, we can take a look at the company's profile. And this is Meta Platforms here, its description, some information about key executives, and you can see when the IPO happened, the beta, the employees, and some interesting information about the company. And if you click on earnings transcripts, and if you are interested about this, you can actually read the whole thing. So this is basically information transcripts verbatim. Yes, and so you can actually pretty much read through those if you really want to. One of the things that I'm actually looking to do at some point in the future, this is a little bit of an advanced thing that I'm going to be working on in the next few months, is actually adding natural language processing here to try to extract key information out of transcripts so that we don't have to read the whole thing. And it can actually potentially give us some very quick points and quick remarks that we can analyze. So this is something that I want to be working on soon. But the things that I'm going to be working on pretty much in the next weeks or so is what is here on the roadmap. And over here you can see what I'm currently working on and what are the expected release dates. Now, currently I'm working on a dividends history module. This one is going to be providing information about dividends of specific companies, dividend history, whether they have cut dividends or not, how long they have been increasing the dividends and by how much. It will have charts as well. It's going to be awesome. You will see. It's planned to be released on June and July, somewhere around that time. The next one is going to be a portfolio synthesizer upcoming on September, October. All these things are like tentative dates. More than likely they're going to be earlier. But this one will allow users to create their own stock portfolios pretty much. And you will be able to suggest the tool with allocations that you'd like to make for your portfolio and what kind of companies you'd like to use, and the tool can help you compile a portfolio based on based on a specific set of rules. I think this is gonna be pretty neat as well. It's a tool that I wanted to use for myself, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people are gonna be finding it interesting. And the third one is institutional holdings analysis, because I like taking a look at what the institutions are holding. And so I'm going to be having some detailed information about what they are holding, about what they are releasing, selling, or buying. And again, I think this is going to be a very interesting module. There's tons of things that I want to be working on and I will be working on. And in between, I'm pretty sure we're going to be adding even more things as suggested by the community that's hopefully going to be a part of the tool. And I'm also looking to add very, very soon, actually, some sort of a forum, a sort of discussion mechanism so that we can talk about all sorts of different things and, kind of have a chat about companies and all that. Right now, we can do it on our Discord, which you can find a link on the, pretty much all my videos. It's on the description box. And yeah, this is what I'm working on right now. And I hope that you will be enjoying the information and what is going to be coming out of all this. So the next, again, we have selected Meta. If you remember, we can go back to the income statement, the financial statements of the company, and examine the financial statements in detail. I like to do that, of course, because it gives me a lot of detailed information. And the way I created this view here is the way I wanted to view things on myself. And I could never really find a tool that was showing me this information in this manner. Because what I want to be doing is start from revenue and go down to gross profit, which makes total sense because it's the cost of revenue that creates this, and then go down to even more expenses and eventually reach net income. And so the interesting thing about this is that if you do the additions and subtractions, you are actually getting the story of the income of the company. And the same thing goes with the balance sheet here. Same thing. For instance, you can add all the current assets here and you will get to this number. Same thing with the non-current assets. You will get to this number. Current liabilities, non-current liabilities, and then in the very end, you will see the total assets, total liabilities, and the subtraction of the two, giving you the total equity. And some very interesting and cool information about the growth and all that. This is how I always wanted to see. And if you actually visit many websites, many websites that are analyzing stocks and have information, they are all over the place. They are not in a concise manner. And this is what I wanted to avoid, and this is what I wanted to do here. And again, the cash flow statement, similar story. I'm breaking it down as explicitly as I could and as precisely as I can get the data for. And I also have the cash position here. The free cash flow is exactly how I wanted to see those. And again, we can at any point switch it up to a different company. Let's just say I'm switching it to Ford. Over here, it's going to fetch the market data and it's going to adjust. And now we're looking at the cash flow statement of Ford Motor Company. And again, I can go back to the stock analysis chart, the stock analysis tool pretty much. And now it's loading up Ford Motor Company. Again, the tool has adjusted to Ford Motor. Let me go back to Meta because we're going to do a little bit of a simple exercise here. I'm going to show you the stock evaluation tool. Now, again, we're adjusted to Meta. And you know how this tool, how we are using this tool pretty much in all of my videos. You know how I'm using it. That's not the point here. I just want to show you how to go about it, really, how this is a general overflow. It's not about the Meta itself. You get a table here which shows you what we already examined in the income statement, which is the revenue, net income, and free cash flow. And you have the handy little averages here to help you with setting your projections. Again, I have designed it the way I wanted it to be. I wanted to have my handy little averages here and also a full breakdown because in some situations an average may not be the most helpful thing, especially when we're talking about a new IPO. And so we are having a revenue growth here of 20 to 40%. Let's just say that I'm willing to use 15, 18, and 21 here for my expected 5-year revenue growth for this company. And that's 15% every year, of course. And as you see here, the net income is also provided, and its growth and its margin. The net income margin here is actually the relationship between the net income and the revenue. And so this means that the company is making 40% of its revenue in net income. That's 50 billion out of 40 billion. That's 40%. And so this is the margin, and this is the margins that the company has been achieving. And over here, we're going to be using something similar to this. Let's go 30, 32, and 34 because the company is very concise and pretty much doing the same thing every year for the most part. Now, the free cash flow is actually what the company is generating after capital expenditures are paid. It's the operating income minus capital expenditures, operating cash flow. And so the free cash flow margin here is the relationship between the free cash flow of the company and the net income that the company is generating. And the reason why we're using this margin is because we want to correlate the free cash flow to the net income of the company, basically correlating to profitability. And we don't really want it to be coming out of a non-profitable company, because it doesn't really make sense. We do want to be correlating it with profitability, and this is why we're using this kind of margin. And as you see here, a great company has great free cash flow margins, and pretty similar every year as well. And so it makes sense to use something like 80, 100, and 110, which is typically what you would expect. And 13% is the return that I want to be making every year annually out of my investment, is what I strive for, because I can get 10% out of an S&P 500 ETF. And so typically I want to be making more. And if I hit calculate, you see the averages that we have been talking about many times in the past. And for this kind of projections, we are looking at a company, Meta Platforms, which has a current price of 184. And even with our lower projections here, these projections, it actually makes sense to pay $344 today to get the company's stock. Again, based on these estimates here, which are a little bit aggressive, of course. You can go more conservative and get a little bit lower of an estimate. I would probably go maybe even 13. Actually, let's go, 13. And let's lower the net income margin here just for the sake of the exercise. And the free cash flow margin of 90% I think is fair. Even the net income margin is fair, but okay. Let's just hit calculate. And you will see that now we're sitting at 264 as we are going lower. And if I am asking for for an even better return, now I'm going to get a lower estimate here because I'm asking for more money. And so now it makes sense to buy the company at $228. But for all of these projections, we were green, as you see on Meta, which is basically a green light for me to go. And I would definitely like to add this company in my portfolio. So this is what the tool is about so far. I pretty much went through the whole thing with you. This is what we're having here, our roadmap and what is going on with the tool. I'd love to see you around. I'd love to see you here, of course, and I hope that you can get some value from the tool. My stock data feed provider is very helpful as well. So if we spot any issues, we can let them know. They tend to fix things very, very quickly. And also, if there is some sort of a bug within the tool, I'm basically working on it pretty much all the time. And so if you send me a notice, if you send me an email, if you talk to me via Discord, I will more than likely fix it in the upcoming hours. So I always work on the tool. And I really, really hope I'll see you around and you will enjoy it, and it can actually help you with your analysis, and you can find some good value out of it. And if you are a patron, if you decide to become a patron, I have to totally thank you for the support. Really, really helps. And it would be awesome to build a community here so that we can talk with each other and also help each other make better financial decisions. That was all. And again, I'd love to see you around. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this little overview was helpful for you. It's been a little bit of a journey working on this tool. I love doing so, and I would love to keep on working on it in the future, make it much, much better. Thank you for joining, and I wish you will have an awesome experience with the tool, and I'll see you in the next video. As always, have an awesome Monday. Bye-bye.